In this video, I want to share with you my 7 daily essentials that help me boost my mood and my motivation as a nervous system specialist and somatic breath coach. Now, I've tried out all sorts of things over many years, and those 7 things are really the most important ones for me to stick to every single day. Number 1 is that I don't touch my phone for the first hour or 2 after I wake up. This is really something that is a non-negotiable because I know that when I do touch my phone and I get on my emails or whatever else that I do and watch YouTube videos, then for the rest of the day, I'm way more distractible. I struggle a lot more to focus and concentrate and stay grounded. So this is really something I try to stick to every single day. There are very rare occasions that I don't stick to it, but usually when I don't, it's such a good reminder to just not touch my phone. Instead, I like to sit down and read books. So in the morning, that's really my time to read and to absorb information in a slower way without scrolling, actually reading books, analog books, like real books that I have on my bookshelf, no Kindle, nothing digital. It's really just me, my morning beverage, and a nice book. Now, the second thing that really helps me to stay grounded and also boost my mood is going for a walk with our dog out in nature. Now, going for a walk in and of it itself is a great thing to do every single day. I do try to get my 10,000 steps in every day, but doing it with my dog and then also doing it out in nature. We like to go out to the beaches around where we live, but that's just really something that makes me feel so good. And I do take my phone, but I don't really touch it. I don't listen to podcasts or, scroll on my phone while my dog's playing. Like, I'm really present. I'm present on the walk. I'm present with my dog. I'm present with nature. And that really helps me to get my day going in an intentional way. Now, number 3 is my breathwork and meditation routine. That is something also that helps me to stay grounded, helps me to connect to myself, helps me regulate my nervous system, work on my functional breathing pattern. And so I like to do any form of a regulating breathing practice. So that could be coherence breathing, could be alternate nostril breathing, could be triangle or box breathing. Nothing fancy, really. And then I usually sit for meditation for a little bit longer. And I tend to do about 15 to 20 minute sit, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. But that is really something that really helps me to find my centered place within. And then number 4 is exercise. I love exercising, but I wasn't always like that. There were many years in my life, in my 20s, when I really didn't enjoy exercise at all, and I barely moved my body, to be honest. It was a really sad time. But eventually I discovered exercise for me. I discovered yoga, I discovered the gym, I discovered surfing. And so I try to really integrate different kinds of exercise and movement into my weekly routine. So I try to go to the gym about 3 or 4 times. I try to do yoga a couple of times. Now that my body is healthy again from having had injuries, I can also go surfing again. So I try to mix it up a bit. And I really do feel that if I don't exercise regularly, I feel like my mood goes down. I feel more sluggish. I'm not as concentrated and focused. So exercise is really something that is absolutely essential, about 5 or 6 times a week for sure. And even on the days that I don't exercise actively in the gym or on my yoga mat, I definitely go out on longer walks. Now, another thing that I'm still working on to be more consistent with, and that is number 5, and that is to stop working at about 7 p.m. I sometimes tend to work a little longer, maybe to 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. because I usually don't start work after lunch oftentimes. Sometimes a little bit before lunch, maybe at 11 or 12, but oftentimes I don't even start work until 1 or 2 p.m. And so it's, sometimes very inviting to then work late because there's always many things to do on my to-do list, of course. But I really notice the difference. If I stop working, especially when I'm working on my computer, when I stop at about 7 p.m., then we have dinner and then we kind of chill out, maybe read a book, watch a little bit of Netflix, go to bed, then I feel great in the mornings. If I work too late, I really notice the effects the next morning. It makes me sluggish. It makes me just not as motivated to be creative. And I really feel like 7 p.m. is a really good sweet spot for me. Number 6 is to go to bed at the same time every day, and that should be at about 10 p.m. for us. We like to get about 8 or 9 hours of sleep. That makes us feel nice and rested. And then also, I don't take my phone into the bedroom at all, ever. That way, it's really easy to not get sucked into my phone when I wake up. So I tend to read a fiction book before sleeping, but nothing too activating, something nice and boring. That just makes me a little sleepy. And then, put on my sleep mask and tape my mouth, and then off we go. And lastly, number 7, and that is to eat healthy every single day, at least 80% of the time. That's my goal. And then the other 20%, a few cheat meals here and there. I think that's okay. But one thing that I really try to focus on in my diet currently is to eat less carbs and definitely less sugar. I'm much better now with my sugar intake in terms of chocolate or cakes. Like I really like sweets, and it's really hard for me not to touch them when they're in the house. So we try to not even buy that kind of stuff anymore. But the other thing is carbs. I not really pasta or bread that much, but even just rice, just comes with a lot of carbs, or potatoes. And so we try to really decrease the amount of carbs, because I really notice it, especially in the afternoon. If I have a carb heavy meal for lunch, I just notice that I get sluggish. I feel less motivated. And so the less carbs, the less sugars I eat, I feel like I have more consistent energy throughout the day. I also don't drink any coffee, and actually quitting coffee really helped with consistent energy levels. And so those are my 7 things, my 7 daily essentials. Let me know in the comments what things you like to do to stay motivated throughout the day, to have good energy, and to keep your mood up. Love to hear from you. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.